Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Vo's Profits Unlimited coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Oh, my goodness. Glad you're with me today on this hump day. We got a rainy day coming at us here in Louisville, and got a special guest that's going to be on with us today. Looking forward to getting that going and got some interesting topics we're going to talk about and get that going for you. But hey, before we get into all that, it is go time. You are right, my friend. Absolutely. So, hey, hump day, rainy, temperature in the 40s. Got a cold front supposed to be going through here. But other than that, we're going to get a little cooler, maybe some snow showers later on, and maybe some real snow tomorrow night into Friday, and then again Saturday. So we'll see how that all pans out. So Mother Nature's been moving right along with us this December, and a lot of places in the country. I'll say that. So we'll see how it goes. But I hope everybody's week's going okay. We finally got to get out a little bit yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that. But looking forward to maybe getting a little more done tomorrow. Tomorrow day's looking a little bit better. But just curious how your week's looking. Let me know. Let me know how your week's looking and how Monday, Tuesday went for you. We, who knows, right? It's just this time of the year. Here we are in December 10th, and still trying to get lawn applications done. We got quite a few yesterday. We threw some resources definitely at it, and we were actually doubling up on applications yesterday with our customers, getting our lime and fertilizer down. And we had a really nice day yesterday. And today was supposed to be about what's going on here and clearing up a little bit here around lunchtime, they're saying, as far as the rain stopping and getting out of here. But at this kind of temperature, and then once things are wet, and it just becomes problematic. Is what it really is. Really, what it boils down to, turns into little problematic weather issues. But we'll see. We'll see, right? I mean, all we can do is what we can do, and everybody in our market right here, is in the same position. Similar to you all. I mean, I know there's a lot of snow on the ground in a lot of places. So, where it started snowing and there wasn't any opportunity to get fall cleanups done. I know we got a few of those done, but we got, or a few of them left. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But, one thing I've learned over 40 plus years of doing this, 40, we're going into year 47, is that the one thing we can't do is anything about the weather. I mean, that's just it. We just can't do anything about the weather, so we live with it. So, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do, is live with it, work with it. So, yes, Seth, it is a good drippy Wednesday. Yes, it is. So, again, can't do anything about it. But I will give our team a shout out yesterday for taking full advantage. We got started, I don't know, about 9:30 with temperature and all. So and then hammered it out pretty good yesterday. So wanted to give our team a big shout out for the accomplishments that they made yesterday, getting some work done for sure. So yeah, we're supposed to be alive. We're having we got a one of the computer places in town that helps us out. They're actually remoted into our computer systems now. Um, so we might have some computer issues. I hope not, but we might have some computer issues. We had some hardware switched out, and they're working. They're working with that. So, but yeah, hey, Seth, let me know, man, or anybody listening to me, let me know if you got a good copy of me. Yeah, if we're sounding out all right. So, we might have a little fade. We'll see. But other than that, it's just another manic Wednesday around WLS. Katie's busting her ass to get the job done, and she's got computer she's got the computer people on the phone. They've remotely hacked into our system here. Or I shouldn't say hacked in, but yeah, y'all know what I mean. They've remoted in and taken care of business. So uh, good, good. Good deal, man. I appreciate it, Seth. Thanks for letting me know. Craig, appreciate you letting me know we're sounding good. So just curious. And, you never know for sure, man. You never know for sure. Somebody's not hearing well or whatnot, and it could be their location, certainly could be ours. I mean, especially with what's going on here. I almost hopped off my show and was going to start it a little late till they got finished with everything around here. But I thought, nope, let's hop on. Let's see what happens because worst case scenario, it just goes up as a podcast, and the podcast is always clear and accurate and right. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Curious what you guys may be doing. Somebody shoot me a text. Let me know what you are into today, and or if it's raining or snowing or whatever it's doing. But our little snow looks like it's shaping up to be. Yesterday they were talking about maybe a little lighter snow, but now they've kind of bumped it up to a little bit more snow. So we'll see where it ends up. That's the thing with snow, man. We always just say, hey, here's what we're doing. We're going to let you know how much snow we got when it's done snowing. But we do appreciate all the insight our friends at BAM give us, and Matt and Brett and Michael and their whole team over there. I mean, they've got a ton of meteorologists that try to give you their best educated guess and on what's going to happen. And we found that they're pretty daggone dependable and certainly help us out a lot when it comes to trying to figure out, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, when we're going to deploy, trucks and subs and that whole thing. So it is it can be a interesting thing. That's the thing about snow, and I love snow. I love it. I love fooling around with it. I love the business side of it. But you know, the reality of it is that there's so many variables, and you guys that do snow know that. The variables involved with snow are just incredible to say the least. And I always joke around and say we've plowed more flurries predictions than we have snowstorms and predictions, and that may be pretty close to accurate. I don't know how you all feel about it, um, but I will say this though. Since we've implemented the services of BAM, we've had a really good opportunity to make some different and better decisions. So Steven says, yeah, material's somewhat tight right now. So Steven, put me in the books for some more, buddy. Put me in the books for some more, and because I'm sure we're going to go through some anyway, and we got quite a bit, but you never know, man, when it starts snowing and, if it keeps snowing and you need a little time to restock and that whole thing. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all's text. Let me know we're good. But, oh, Lordy. So good deal. Yeah. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Um, so, Stephen, I guess you got some more material coming in at some point, right? So it's probably it. And here's our caller. Let's get them on here live. Let's see. We'll get this hooked up to our roadcaster here. Kathleen, this is Wayne. How you doing? Good deal.
Wayne.
Good, good. I appreciate you reaching out early this morning to us.
Oh, well, I'm happy to. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. And you're in, if I remember correctly, Kathleen, aren't you in California?
I used to be in California. Now my home base is Utah, but I'm currently in Florida meeting with a lot of developers and landscapers.
Look at you. As we're sitting here talking a little bit about snow and cold, what's it like where you're at?
Well, now it's warm. I'm near Naples. So
Naples.
it's relative. Cold by Florida standards, but it's warmer than Park City where I live.
I hear you. Park City, Utah. There's a lot of skiing there, right? At Park City. If or yeah,
Yeah,
I thought.
I have my back door.
Yeah. Do you ski at all?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
I've always been scared of that. I've always you. I don't know why, but well, I
Well,
do know why. I always hear everybody say, "Oh man, your knees, your knees, your knees." But how do you get the courage to start at the top of a hill going down with no brakes? I mean,
I don't know. Well, it's not true. I have brakes. The thing that makes me nervous is water skiing, because water skiing, I'm at the mercy of the speed of the boat or the
correct.
driver.
Yeah.
But with snow skiing, you can go as slowly or as quickly as you want. You're in control of your speed. But I've been skiing since I was a young kid, so I guess I just grew up with it. So I'm not so afraid. But you need to respect the mountain. Definitely, it can be risky.
Absolutely. And then, gosh, I just people that love it. My mom and dad had some really good friends that would ski quite a bit. They used to go to Vail and,
Yeah, yeah.
quite a few different times and a year and go skiing. And they just had nothing but good to say about it and how fun it was. Never had an injury, you know. So,
Yeah,
uh,
fortunately.
I'm
Be smart and also a little lucky, because accidents of course happen.
right.
We used to live in Vail too.
Did you?
We lived in Vail.
I got
Yeah,
you.
the mountains are so beautiful. It's just so fun to be out in nature.
I would really, I'd like to take that trip sometime, out west with to see it, because I went out west this summer for a brief trip, and we're out there about 10 days, I guess, and I thought, man, this has got to be really pretty with snow everywhere. I just
Oh, it's beautiful. But hitting it in summer is good. You did good, because most people don't think of going to these resorts in summer, but summer is so lovely. It's like the sound of music. So
it was really fun. I was somewhere between Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons, in
oh,
between those two ranges. I mean, and where we stayed actually in this cabin when we checked in, it was July. We were out there. I think it's July, and July or August. But we checked in, and when I walked in the room, I was like, "Damn, there's no air conditioning in here." And they're like, "We don't need air conditioning." I said, "Am I just missing the switch, or where's the air conditioning?" They said, You don't need it."
and
Yeah. So, and they were right. Even, in July when we were out there, yeah, I believe it was toward the end of July.
mhm.
It was very comfortable at night, just with the window open. But I was thinking, okay, now what about the bears, But, that's a city boy's mind running around everywhere.
My husband is from Cleveland, Ohio, and I remember one night in Vail, we're driving on the road, and he stops the car and he goes, "What is that?" And there was like this animal like undulating across the road, and I said, "That's a porcupine." He had never seen one. It was a big one too, so he was like, "What the heck?"
What is that? Yeah, right. But hey, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent quite so far with you, but the Florida thing got me first, and then I got thinking about the snow and you being warm down there, and we're all jealous. So
I'm working. Don't be too jealous. I'm working.
down there working. But if you would, Kathleen, I know I had the opportunity to meet you at the Equip Expo this year, and talk to you a little bit. If you would just share your company and what you guys do, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, the company that I work for is called Firehawk Bioherbicide, and it actually has a parent company called Contact Biosolutions, and it's based in Australia, but we now have a U.S. division for this product. And the inventor wanted to see if he could develop an herbicide that was safer for the environment, that respected the environment and respected the soil biology and the health of the microbiome. His background was in, health products and so on. He was a scientist, and he said, well, I wonder if I put this technology that I put into these health supplements, that has really efficient penetration into human bodies. He said, I wonder if I put that same technology into an herbicide, if that would make it more effective. And it does. It boosted it. So we have an herbicide that is EPA registered as a bioherbicide. So it's in the category that's considered, lower risk. I think that's what the EPA said.
What took you to that industry? I mean, what took you to them?
Children's health. I was concerned about children's health. My mom was a school teacher. My sister's a teacher. And I had 3 boys, and they started to have some autoimmune issues. And one of them has a food allergy. And I thought, where does this come from? All these kids with all these little issues, there was no history of it in my family or my husband's. And I was working in the classrooms and very active with the PTA. And I was like, what's going on with children's health, and some of them have a hard time learning and so on. And I just noticed those changes. And so I started thinking about what's in the environment. And I noticed them spraying, conventional herbicides around the elementary school campus. And there were warning signs. And I saw the kids just digging in the dirt right around the signs. And the mothers were chatting at pickup. And no one was really paying attention. And I just thought to myself, I bet there's a better way than this. And so I started searching. And I knew farmers and government scientists and pediatricians and vets. I started asking around.
I got you. So that was just really just the thought of being around the kids and wondering why all this was going on with your own kids too. And so you said, hey, there's might be a better solution than traditional products that are out there.
Right. That's it. So then I was on the hunt to find something that actually worked on a level of the conventional herbicides, because they do work. You can't argue. And so I started meeting with the guys, and I got to know what their job was like and basically how hard it was. And so I just set out to find a product that they could use instead that would not have the same impact on the environment. And it took about 10 years to find Firehawk.
I got you. And you said the gentleman that actually the science behind it was in the health supplement field before that?
Yes. He's an organic chemist, and he recently passed, which is a shame.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
He was very interested in human health, and he helped a lot of people actually who had very, serious illnesses, and he helped them with supplements that could help them to be better.
I see.
And just one day he had this patented technology, and he said, I wonder if I put it in a simple, herbicide formula, if we could get something that's highly effective. And he dialed it in.
I see. Now, does Firehawk, is it a selective or non-selective? Should I call it a herbicide? Because
it is.
Okay.
It's technically a bioherbicide, but it is an herbicide. It kills weeds. It is non-selective.
So we just throw bio in front of herbicide, and we've got a non-selective product that can be used. So the Firehawk product, is that something that you guys are promoting to the homeowners, commercial contractors? Who's using your product?
You can we have a website. If you go to firehawkbioherbicide.com, where you can order the product for homeowners. Our new professional formulation, which is 50-to-1 concentrate, it's a super concentrate. It's available through me. So anyone who's interested can email me at k.hallal, HALLAL, at contactbiosolutions.com.
Okay. All right. And then as far as the product itself goes, what type of, is it a premix that somebody buys, or do you guys sell the concentrate and you add the water, or how do you go about utilizing the product?
Yeah, that's how it works. It's concentrate.
Okay.
And since for the super concentrate that we sell to professionals, it's about 3.6 ounces per gallon of water.
Okay.
And then you just agitate it and apply it either with a backpack or a spray gun. I have ranchers who use it on their four-wheelers, for landscapers who put it on trucks.
I see. Now, so is it being a non-selective herbicide? If say I'm looking at it from a contractor's perspective, now, if I'm going through and spraying fence lines or curbs or whatever landscape beds, is there any soil movement activity with it, or is it strictly it stays in place when applied? If I'm going through and spraying beds.
Yeah, it stays exactly in place. There's no translocation in the soil. And what's more, we've just completed, we've completed soil studies on our products, on our formulations that show that it breaks down in the soil and actually leaves a slight benefit to the microbiome. So it supports the soil biology, but it breaks down and biodegrades very quickly, and it will not translocate. It's very safe to use or in flower beds or around tree wells. It won't treat anything with bark. So it's safe to use around trees. In Australia, they use it in vineyards and in olive groves to remove the suckers, the small little branches that grow that take energy from the plants. They use it in vineyards, and they spray it right around the vine, and it won't hurt anything that has bark. It just clears what's around it.
That's good. That's awesome. It sounds like a really good benefit to the product for sure. For professional contractors that are listening today, from their perspective, is the delivery system compared to just out of like a pump can or a 25-gallon sprayer or 50-gallon sprayer, like you'd be spraying any other product? And do you have any issues with the product, the concentration from a nozzle clogging standpoint, I guess?
No, not at all. In fact, the formulation is mostly water. The percentage strength is around 2%. So it won't eat into the equipment and it won't clog anything up. I've never seen that. We recommend that you rinse your equipment after you use any herbicide,
right?
Because of the seals, to preserve the integrity of the seals. But there's nothing particularly damaging at all about our formulation. In fact, it's very mild. Once it's mixed with water, it's extremely mild. But that's what's surprising, that it's so powerful. It's very effective. It works very quickly. And the other difference with our product is that most of the other products in sort of more natural categories are not as effective as conventional herbicides, and they'll kind of burn the top off, and then you have to go back every 2 weeks forever. But our product actually makes progress in treated areas. So starting with the third application, you start to get longer periods in between regrowth, and also you get a lowering of weed pressure.
Let's see. So what's the difference then that makes that so much more effective than another type product? Then is it a vinegar base? Because you hear a lot of times when you think bio, you think about vinegar, right? Or salt base. Is what's the base of Firehawk?
Mm-hmm. It's non-anoic acid. We did have a previous version that used organic acetic acid, which is better at 20% strength in concentrate. Now our concentrate is based on non-anoic acid, which is very similar to pelargonic acid. But it's really the technology in our formulation makes it stand apart from everything else. And also, we're not exactly sure on all of the science on it. We have agronomists looking at it to determine why this is happening, but it has to do with the microbiome. It has to do with the soil biology.
Okay. All right. And is there any effect on, because it sounds from what you're saying, spent a ton of time and effort and money in research on the ground effect after the fact, and with the positive of what you're saying, from that standpoint. Where does Firehawk rate is in compared to like a glyphosate product, as far as production, or not production, but effectiveness?
Efficacy?
Yeah, yeah, that's so. Thank you. I could not get the word in my mind. Yes, as far as the efficacy goes of the product, or are you seeing the contractors are saying, yeah, this is a safer product, and I'm getting similar control, and it's making sense, or you, or what are you seeing happen? With the bio side of that.
Yeah, well, 100%. We're getting positive reviews. Harvard University has been using it on Harvard Yard
Okay.
for 5 years now. And the head of ground gave me his cell phone number to share with anyone. He said, I'm so excited about this. I'll talk to anyone. But his crew that came in that were used to using Roundup and conventional herbicides,
Right.
they now say they would never go back. This works better. And the other thing that's very impressive about our product is that it takes out most all of the glyphosate resistant weeds, like no problem, very quick. So a lot of different, farmers and landscapers are having trouble with certain weeds, like say fleabane. And we just posted in minutes. It's very, very effective on every weed. The area where we have some challenges because our formulation biodegrades in the soil so readily is if weeds have extensive root systems, rhizomes like bindweed or nutsedge with bulbs under the ground. That's a little harder for us to control. It will kill it on top, but in order to really control those weeds, you have to combine that with cultural practices. You'll have to do some digging. And you can control spread, but we won't eliminate those particular kinds of weeds. But 98% of what everybody is treating along fence lines or walkways or flower beds, what have you, we are highly effective. And I just get very excited. I'm a professional landscaping company who's been using us for 5 years, and they use a third of what they started with.
That's
the first season.
And where's it comparing cost to traditional? I hate to say traditional, but I mean that for just lack of comparison, cost wise, in line with some of the other products that may be a different choice that people are used to using. That says, hey, this is going to be a better choice. It may cost us a little more, but the efficacy of the product's going to be better. We're going to see a more long term result. What kind of feedback are you getting from contractors from that perspective?
Well, that's the other thing that people are excited about. With our super concentrate, we're still going to be more than glyphosate-based products. I think those might be as low as 55 cents a gallon if you're using totes. If you're ordering a tote of Firehawk, your price per gallon would run $1.22. So we do cost more still than products like Roundup, but we're closer to the range of the other conventional products that people might want to use. And we are far less than anything else in the organic or 25B exam categories or other bioherbicides. We're far lower with our super concentrate. So that's another thing that landscapers love because we're much closer in price, and so they can fit it into their budget. There's
right.
So much demand now from customers for products that are more sustainable, that are in keeping with regenerative practices, that support the environment, but that still work very effectively so they can get the job done and everything looks beautiful, but they're just using a different product.
Yeah. And earlier, did you say it's very effective at like a 2% solution rate?
Yes. Yes, we're working with the super concentrated. It's working at about a 2% concentration. It's really amazing.
I got you. And then for so
it might let me qualify.
Sure.
After you gain control of a yard or a situation or a piece of property, that can be your maintenance level, 2%. If you're just starting out, you might go to between 3 and 4% strength.
I got you.
If you've got tough weeds, but the maintenance level is in the 2% range.
And if somebody's using it, say in a renovation of a lawn, let's say, what's the waiting period before going back and reseeding?
As soon as it dries, we tell people overnight.
Okay.
Wait overnight.
So it's very quick. It's not like applying a traditional type herbicide where you may be waiting an extended period of time. based on
Yeah.
whatever product you're using. So it literally, once it's dry, you're safe to go through and what seed or sod, I would assume then.
That's correct. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, it's really an exciting product. I mean, we're working a lot. Our advisory board is, if anyone wants to check out Firehawk Bioherbicide, is filled with experts in regenerative farming and soil biology.
I gotcha.
Because it's very important for these farmers to be able to go in and plant after they clear out, say, cover crops. And that's the exact same process that, landscapers would use if they were taking out lawn.
I gotcha.
They would take out that sort of crop, which is grass. And then as soon as it dries or the next day, you can go in and plant whatever you like.
All right. Hey, Kathleen, can I ask you to hold on and we take a short break? You got a few minutes? All right.
Yes.
Thank you. We've got Kathleen on with Firehawk Bioherbicide. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. It's got to be warmer there, too. You're in Naples, so you're even further south, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty here.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, you're down there. Got a good day going on, sun out, or what's going on?
It's a little bit overcast. It's partly sunny.
Is it?
The beauty of Florida is that you can test our product year round. So that's why I'm down here meeting with developers and landscapers and universities. We can just keep on spraying here. So
I got you. Let me ask you, how's the product available? Is it a gallon jugs, 2.5 gallon jugs, a tote? How does somebody, buy your product?
Well, like I said, the super concentrate is not listed specifically yet on our website because we're available only in 28 states so far for professionals. But if they want to reach out to me, they can do it through the Firehawk Bioherbicide website.
Okay.
Just click in on the info for questions, and their email will go to me, or they can email me directly. But our sizing is for the super concentrate, it's 1.33 gallons, and then we have a 2.66, and we have a 55-gallon barrel, and then 275 gallons. And we will have, I think in February, we're going to start having the 5-gallon size as well.
I see. And so big or small, you've got somebody taking care of that. Once somebody says, hey, I'd like to try the product, certainly they can start out with a little bit of the product, see if it's going to work and for them in their area, their market, and what they're trying to control. And so there's not an excuse to say, hey, I'd like to try it, but I don't want to buy 100 gallons, or 200-gallon tote or whatever. So you start out with it and give it a try. How is it? How effective? I know one of the most problematic things we deal with here in our market is violets, wild violets, and creeping Charlie, it's called. And you're probably familiar with both of those. How does the Firehawk address harder to control weeds? Is it, and what's the application interval on something like that? Is it like every 10 days, every 14 days? What do you all suggest on the hard to control weeds?
Well, I haven't worked with those weeds personally, but we do have customers who have, and they've been very happy. And it depends on what the weed is like. Like if they have, since we break down, we start biodegrading as soon as we hit the soil. So since that happens, if plants have extensive rhizomes, they might have to be hit usually it's between 2 and 4 weeks. Usually that's the beginning interval when you start to treat weeds. But our customers who buy our product in the 20-to-1 strength, the retail strength, they've been very happy. I haven't had anyone get back to me and say that they weren't happy with the result. So in general, what happens is you treat an area, and then depending on where you live and how full your seed bank is and whether there's rain or not, it's generally about 2 to 4 weeks between the first 2 applications.
Okay.
And then the third application might get a little longer out, but after that, with each application, that's when you start to see the extension of time between reapplications. Really sometimes get very long. For example, I have a landscaping company in New Jersey. They're an organic landscaping company, and they treat 26 different school campuses and mostly elementary schools. And they treated the grounds of each campus 3 times the first summer. So over the whole summer, it was 3 treatments. And then after that, and for all the following years, they only do 1 treatment in the spring.
So they're obviously getting really good results once they've got things under control then as far as the efficacy of that product. I mean, just taking the root out completely then, right? So
that's right. It really is highly effective, and people get very excited because the assumption is that if you have a product that does not contain any of the conventional herbicides like ours, that it won't work.
Right.
This is the myth. And so I always have to get past that with landscapers to say, please stick with it, work through the seed bank, and you will see.
Yes.
And those that do are very excited.
I believe that 100%, just because it's kind of like getting commercial contractors to buy into the battery concept. You know, we're so used to fossil fuel that we have a hard time buying into the battery concept. And I could see where, you know, any type of bio herbicide is looking at it from myself. You're just think, okay, well, okay, it's another one of those, but you certainly sound like it's not just another one of those, and it is very effective. And hearing all the good things that Firehawk's doing, let me ask you: is there any work down the road of potentially a selective herbicide that a lawn care company is going to have available that would, you know, be in this category?
Yeah, everybody asks us for that, and we are working on it. Now we're just working on launching the non-selective, but everyone asks us for that. So hopefully down the road we'll have that as well as the soil conditioner.
I see. All right. And then, and what other products do you guys have that you know, from a commercial landscaper's perspective that may help them out?
This is it. I have recommendations of other companies, of products that I know have solid science and
I got you.
know, efficacy testing that I can recommend. But our company is just specializing right now in the herbicide that really works and still takes care of the environment, supports all the sustainable practices.
And I guess one of the next things we all think about is the odor, right? Is there any odor to it, or is where's that with Firehawk?
That's actually a great question because typically non-anoic can be smelly, but we use a synthetic version of non-anoic that mimics the natural sort of molecular chemistry, but it doesn't oxidize. So it doesn't smell. It has a very long shelf life. And we decided to go with that. The choices were nonanoic acid or nonanoic soap. And in the United States, if you go with nonanoic soap, you can be certified organic. But if you go with nonanoic acid, you cannot be certified organic at the moment. We will petition, but the reason we opted for that, for one of the reasons, was what you're asking. It wouldn't smell, it wouldn't oxidize, and our nonanoic is perfectly clear, and that clarity helps us have better efficacy. So we are certified organic in Australia, and we will be in all the other countries in the world. But in the U.S., they just have one stipulation with nonanoic. If it's a soap, it's okay. If it's the acid form, you're a bioherbicide. So, yeah, don't smell. That does not smell bad. That's very exciting, actually.
Good deal. Because that is always, you know, the thing with any product that you spray is, I know we think about it from, you know, the applicator standpoint of, you know, because some things they'll say, "Ooh, that stuff smells really weird," you know, not talking about Firehawk. Of course, but you know, just as what's the odor and being a liquid, you don't have any, you know, dust or anything like that to think about. But what with all your research that you guys have done as far as states, and are some states worse than others as far as giving you the classification that you guys want? I would assume probably is California the toughest?
They are the toughest. They are the slowest. But we are already approved in California. Our 20-to-1 formulation, which is the same technology, is already approved in California. We are already approved in 50 states for the 20-to-1 formulation and also for our ready to use. But different states take different amounts of time for approval. Florida was 2 weeks. They were ready. The landscapers down here was really very interested in something that's more environmentally, friendly.
I could see where it'd be certainly something really to, it'd be a good selling feature for, some prospects that, hey, we're using a bio friendly, environmentally friendly bio product that is not, I hate to throw the brand out there. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but that's not like some of the others, and I could see where that would be. And I think this is just me and my 47 years of experience in the landscaping industry. I could see where more and more communities are going to start requesting a product like this over some of the traditional products, or give preference in bidding jobs because you're using something like this. Have you seen any of that yet in any of the states that you're working with?
100%. 100%, especially here in Florida, where there's so much development going on. People are a little worried about, the more care we taken with the environment to protect the animals, the manatees, and what kind of runoff is going into the ocean, and they've got issues with red tide. They have all these issues connected with, either development or the land care, maintenance. So yes, I mean, there is big demand, but not just in Florida. Everywhere this is happening, there's sort of a growing awareness. And honestly, the companies, the landscapers and the companies that start to offer alternative products are going to really prosper.
I got you. Well, who would you say the ideal candidate is? For Wayne's Lawn Service, I'm saying, our landscaping business here, who would you think our best promotion of this product would be to? The residential market, our HOAs, obviously a lot of schools. We don't do a lot of facilities like that, but from what I'm hearing you say, they really are on board with it. But what do you think would be somebody's best target with this product?
Everyone.
Everybody?
Yeah, definitely residential, contracts, but also HOAs, everyone, the HOAs want this. But when I'm down here, I'm meeting with universities that want it, and also real estate developers, because if you're developing real estate and you sell a community that's a green community, buyers will flock toward your development rather than the one down the road.
Right.
That's really a big selling point for real estate. I have cities approaching me for all the city properties. I even have public works departments like the Department of Transportation of several states, airports approaching me. They have to maintain runways. I mean, railroads. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't be interested in a product that's a little bit gentler on the environment.
Right.
That, will help, workers' reputations of using a better product that will just grow your business.
Now, is there any type of, if somebody decides, hey, we're going to try Firehawk, is there protective equipment? Anything required as far as gloves, boots, like there is with some of the other glasses, with some of the other traditional type herbicides? Or is it strictly 100% safe product and you don't have any protective equipment required?
No, I will tell you that the concentrate, especially at 50-to-1, but even at 20-to-1, the concentrate is powerful before it's diluted. So standard PPE is recommended. Definitely eye protection, nitrile gloves, long sleeves, long pants, shoes. That's the PPE that the EPA recommends. So basic basic standard equipment, really fixing probably most any chemical. And you do have to be careful with it. Concentrate. It is powerful. You do not want to get it into your eyes.
I gotcha. All right. So PPE is always a great idea, regardless of what you're using. I was just curious what your label might have on it, if it is. So, what's the learning curve? And we'll wrap this up here in a couple of minutes, but what's the learning curve for a commercial contractor that they're set in their ways on traditional herbicides, and they how hard do you have to kick and beat and hit them with a stick to say just give it a try? And then once they decide to try it, what do you say? Hey, give it a fair trial and try it for what length of time?
That's no question. I deal with that a lot. It's a little bit different in the way you handle it, in that you need to get full coverage of the plant. So it's a little closer to a glufosinate-based product.
Okay.
Glyphosate. You might get full coverage of the plant. And I tell people to be generous. The first 2 times you apply it, just so you really understand how it works and you see it working, apply a little more than you might normally. But it's always going to require full coverage of the plant. And truly, it's very impressive how fast it works. But then, a lot of times guys will say, well, it's just probably burning off the top. They still don't have faith. So for people to really get it,
yeah,
it takes 2 applications to get through the seed bank, and then starting with the 3rd application. So this is going to be over a period of several weeks. Then they really start to see it working, and that's when I get the feedback that usually says, "Wow, people say this works better than most states." They get very excited. Generally, starting with the 3rd application, but it requires more focus on the application because you need to fully cover the plant. All of the parameters are the same as with conventional herbicides. It should be dry, should be sunny, or rain safe after 1 hour. So
that was going to be my next question for you about rain safe. Yeah. So you're dry, you're safe, basically. Yeah. Okay.
It goes in the cells very rapidly. And if you spray something by accident, which has happened, you have 10 minutes to rinse it off, or that plant's going to go.
Okay. All right. So it's not like, you do have an oh gosh moment with it. If, like you do anything. I mean, it's happened to all of us. If you sprayed anything, we're like, oh God. So you do have time to get the hose and go back and, hey, we can correct this. Let's just drench it, right? And just drench it out, and we'll go from there with it. So
then you'll save it. And the other thing is for the neighboring plants, if a little bit is sprayed on the neighboring plant, it might have some brown spots or leaves, but those will disappear. The plant will survive. The plants won't die unless they're completely covered.
I see.
All leaves and stems.
So, all right. So they'll grow out of a little misapplication on part of the plant, or drift, or whatever it may be.
Probably we don't have drift. There's no drift with Firehawk, but there might be sort of a side spray where you accidentally hit a neighboring plant.
I gotcha. All right. Well, Kathleen, I appreciate your time this morning. And one last time, if you would like to give out your contact information. We got it here in our, when this will go up on our podcast immediately after our show today, and how somebody can get a hold of you.
When people can reach out to me on my email address, which is the initial K, like Kathleen, dot Hallal, HALLAL, at contact biosolutions with an S.com. Or you could go to the Firehawk website and just click on the info.
And just click on that. All right, Kathleen. Well, hey, we're all envious of you being in Florida, just for what it's worth, one more time. And I certainly do appreciate you hopping on my show here on Turfs Up Radio with me today. And you have a safe commute back and forth and back home, and enjoyed your time this morning. Thank you for hopping on with us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you. Talk to you later, and have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye. Same to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. That was Kathleen with Firehawk bioherbicide. So very interesting. I remember speaking with her at the Equip Expo as well, and very interesting then when I talked to her, and I thought, man, we'd get her back on and talk to her again because I mean, we are constantly as an industry looking for alternatives potentially, and I think she hit it pretty good when she said, a lot of times contractors are resistant. I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, that's me. I mean, you got something that you've used and it's effective. It's like, what don't fix what's not broke. But on the other hand, I think we all owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the industry. We owe it to the environment to do our due diligence and see, hey, what's out there? What can we do maybe that's different and better than everybody else is doing? Yes, it cost a little bit more to get it done, but I can think of a lot of things that we do here at WLS that cost a little more to get it done, but we do it. So, with that being said, we're going to hop off here and appreciate you guys hopping on with us today. And Kathleen, again, appreciate you hopping on with us and stay safe. And we'll be back here on Friday with you. That is our plan. And don't forget about Katie tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with her holiday pop-up show. You guys have a great day. And remember, profit is not the dirty word.